A financial plan is a written report that contains an individual's personal and financial information, including a recommendation to assist the individual to meet their personal goals. Financial planners provide the advice necessary to create the financial plan. While this is an accurate description, it understates the required skill and creativity necessary to create a financial plan. The financial planner uses models and mathematical assumptions, while also relying on judgment and creativity. Since so much effort goes into making a financial plan, it is reasonable to ask an obvious question. Does a person really need a financial plan? Let me answer that question using an analogy. Think about a road trip. You and your best friend decide to travel from Napa Valley, California to Seattle, Washington for a business conference. In this imaginary road trip, you know where you are now, which is Napa Valley, and you also know where you want to end up, Seattle. The best strategy to travel to Seattle would be to use a map, whether a paper map or the map programmed into your GPS. The map would eliminate wrong turns and provide you with the most direct route to Seattle. Without a map, you could end up driving down a wrong road or changing course every time you ask different people along the way for directions. Since it is possible, some people could give you the wrong directions. Through trial and error, you probably would end up at your destination, but the journey would take longer and would incur more expenses as you would have to correct deviations to get back onto the most direct route. I think we would all agree, using a map is a much better approach. Financial planners show the client the best path to reach their goal in much the same way a map shows the best path to reach a destination. Let's relate this illustration to financial planning. Napa Valley represents the current situation, and Seattle represents the financial goal. The map represents the financial plan. And like a map, the financial plan helps to achieve the goal with the minimum amount of cost and time possible. This is because the objective is clear, the necessary resources are committed, and there is feedback when the plan is not being followed, prompting corrective changes. It is no stretch of an exaggeration to say that, like our road trip example, those without a financial plan often stray from the best course of action in response to day-to-day influences. For example, it is unlikely that an investor without a financial plan has performed the self-reflection necessary to understand their risk tolerance. As a result, a bad day in the stock market could lead to panic selling. Alternatively, a person that has developed a well-thought-out financial plan is more likely to be invested in financial products that align with their risk tolerance. Therefore, daily events are less likely to cause reactive responses. We have discussed that financial planners create financial plans through a structured process that enables people to reach their financial goals. But before we start to learn about the planning process, let's start by asking a true or false question. Financial planning is hitting a specific dollar of savings or wealth. False. Financial planning is not about hitting a specific dollar amount of savings, because the reality is that circumstances change over a person's life. It is about the process of observing, identifying, and setting the habits necessary for a person to reach their financial goals. Financial planners help their clients achieve their definition of success by guiding clients to adhere to consistent saving, wealth creation, and preservation patterns. This process is the focus of CFI's Financial Planning Principles course, because even though each client's financial plan may be unique, there are fundamental steps that each planning process will include.